Welcome back everybody for my August bench update. Richie here from RW Hobbies, and we're going to talk a little bit about what I've been working on. A couple of cool projects. As you can see, I got a Hawkeye. It's my bench here, we'll talk about in a minute. But firstly, over my shoulder, and you can see it somewhere, if I spin around, finish this guy. Remember last month we talked about it, and this is Eduard's, aka Hasegawa's 32nd scale P40N, finished pretty much. So fuel tank broke off, still need to fix that. So we're 99% finished, and here's how we're looking in real life. And as always, I'll put a little video in so you can see it better outside in the daylight. So yeah, great kit. Came with a bunch of photo etch I didn't really use because I don't think it was really necessary. So went together really well. Used for seam lines, used the usual display, that black gooey kind of medium CA glue stuff, which worked really good getting the seams out. Made a few mistakes with this one. I think I talked about it last month. Didn't really read the instructions, which you should read instructions, I guess, right? So paint the whole thing olive drab, so I have to go back and paint the other side, you know, the light grey kind of colour. But yeah, no real problems with this one, other than me at the very end, somehow, not sure what happened, but I mentioned this on my Patreon video, putting it on glued the gear on, went to put on the bench, and somehow either knocked the light or back of my chair or did something, and fell on my hand and fell like maybe about a foot onto the bench, and the whole gear was shattered. So that's like super glue it all back together. I think I actually got them the wrong way around possibly, but hey, who cares? It's looking okay on the shelf. And we averted a little bit of a disaster there. So what else? And there's a few other little things here. A couple of lights pinged off and disappeared, so I just used a little bit of Mod Podge, Super Gloss Brilliant Extreme, just to emulate lights, just a little dot with a toothpick. But yeah, she went together really well. We talked before about decals. Took a lot of work to get these guys to bed down, but it looks fantastic, and I'm really happy. And yeah, pretty much out of the box. I did get the flaps, I did get the fabric seat belts. Didn't really need them in the end. Not sure you can see it, but the seat belts, photo etch seat belts, look pretty good to me. And I'm happy. Really cool looking aircraft. Hobby 2000 brought out a 48 scale one of this one too, for about, I think on eBay for about, I think it's $38 shipped to the US from Poland. So if you want this exact scheme in 48 scale, check out eBay. So Hobby 2000 stuff. That's the Hasegawa Reeboks in the smaller scale, and it comes with a canopy mast set and everything as well. So that's pretty good. So let me put this back before I break it again. And yeah, thoroughly enjoyed that one. So did that, and then I stepped straight onto the Hawkeye. So built this guy in subsections. As you see here, got the dish, the tail part, the wings, and actual main fuselage separately, just because the shape of it and the size. Painted it up, so as you can see, I've just finished decaling it. I put down a clear coat, and then instead of dark dirt, I just use grime, because I feel like being navy. Oh, it's all on my fingers now. Let me wipe it off so I get it everywhere. So I thought it was more like for a carrier kind of based kind of look, so I went for grime. And actually looks really good. So I did that pound line wash, wipe that off, all the excess, and then give it a flat coat. So all it needs now is some little bit neat oils, as I always do, just accentuate, kind of bring out some panel lines and stuff here and there, just kind of grime it down a little bit, and then start putting it together. So let me kind of show you what I got going on here in this lump. You can see I'm really happy with this, how it's turned out. Now, it's typical Kinetic. Don't get me wrong, it actually went together really well. I know a lot of people complain about this fit, but it went together no problems at all. It's just seam lines, again, just taking basic modeling, just take out seam lines. I really like this kit because it wasn't easy and it wasn't difficult, if that makes sense. It wasn't like a Tamiya kit we just throw it together in a weekend, and it wasn't like a Jetman's Vegan where I'm sanding for like weeks on end trying to get the resin together. It had a nice kind of level of complexity, so it kept, you know, not a lot of work, but you know, medium amount of work went into this. So for me, it's like a perfect kind of level of kit. The decals are cardographed, but like with the Prowler I built, they're not great decals. They're very thin and kind of crack and break very easily. But nonetheless, we've got them all down pretty much. This guy at the top did crack a little bit, but I got took care of it. So that's one side of it, and then the other side, you can see the door open. I can't really take the masking off now, to be honest with you, because we've done a final clear coat. So that's the main fuselage. Not massive, it's about the same size as a 48 scale F-14. So if you have the wings folded back, if you have the wings extended, that's obviously when we get into some big real estate problems, because the wings extended gets pretty big. We're obviously going to have the wings set back, as most people do, just for display purposes. So the main fuselage, so I used Mr. It's light gold grey, so Mr. Color 315 lacquer paints. Now I used pretty much a whole one on just the fuselage, I think, especially with this disc, which I'll show you in a minute. So rather than buy another one, I did have the aqueous version of the light gold grey. So I tried the aqueous one. That color was a little bit off. Didn't spray anywhere near as nice as the lacquer one, and even like a week later, still like it was still a little bit sticky in certain places. So yeah, if you're building this, I definitely recommend the 315, the lacquer version. It was way easier to spray than the aqueous, which hence why all my aqueous stuffs are being replaced with the lacquer versions. But again, there she is, looking pretty good. Obviously got props to go on and stuff, and built the disc, the frisbee, and that just sits on top. Look, it's quite a tight fit, so I'm not going to put it on right now because I'm going to weather it up first. And we've got the tail assembly. I just masked and painted the black parts. I don't have decals for the side, but I thought it'd be easier just to paint them. Again, the decals weren't great, so it's going to sit something like that on the back. Again, easier to paint the fuselage and stuff separately and just glue it on at the end. And let me put this down for a little bit. And the wings. And did use a worthy upgrade here is definitely looking around here, is the Wolfpack wing folded set. Right there. So basically, it's just 4 pieces that go in the end here of the wings, but it's a lot better detailed than the kit ones that were planned. So if you have the wings folded for minimal cost, I think it's definitely worth getting this one. And obviously the mask set for the windows helps too. So that's coming along really nicely, really happy how it's turning out. Went back old school a little bit with some of the paintwork here. In fact, I used a splatter mask. I've not used a splatter mask for quite some time. You remember some of my older builds from about 2 years ago, I had the photo etch one, and then I think last Christmas before, I got this, a lot better, the vinyl one from AK. I can hold it up so you can see exactly what it is here. And so painted light gold grey as I mentioned, and then with this, just placed it on top and just lightly sprayed. I think first of all I did XF19 Sky Grey, which is actually a lot darker than light gold grey. And then came back and did some red brown. I like red brown. I've used a lot of my builds because it gets like that kind of carrier, kind of grimy kind of color, dirty kind of color. Very, very lightly with that one because you can easily overdo it. So again, picked out certain areas just randomly with this, with some red brown. Looked at it and it looked a little bit like a giraffe. Kind of looked maybe too much. So just came back with the light gold grey again, the original color, and just misted all over and just kind of blended it. And it gives you this effect, which I hope you agree looks pretty good, like nicely weathered and stuff. So easily done, just spraying through the mask randomly. And then, yeah, so you can see it better on the disc. So did that, and then obviously I clear coated it. So really nice kit. I'm loving it, this Hawkeye. So it's not going to be a massive, like I said, it's about F-14 size folded up. So it would look really good on a 48 scale coastal kits like carrier base. Right now I think the US is sold out. To get one from the UK it's like $50 for one piece, and that's too expensive. So we'll figure something out, but it definitely look better on like a little kind of carrier diorama base, I think. So not too much work left on this one. You see I've been doing sub-assemblies, so really just a case of some oil weathering to do today. Basically glue all these pieces together, build tires, the front landing gear, and then just a few little parts like aerials and a door that's going to be open, stuff like that. And there we go. So didn't go any kind of cockpit set, just went straight out of the box, a little bit of dry brushing, so I don't think you can see much in it. So once I take the masking off, and later today or tomorrow, we'll see exactly what we can see, and we'll know for sure. But yeah, that's the Hawkeye. So really enjoying that one. A little bit different. Been in my stash for a while, and finally glad I got it out and started building it. Love my US naval kind of modern stuff. And yeah, there we go. All right, so what's next? So we're going to talk about purchasing, but what I did purchase, I haven't received it yet, it's Soul Models. They do a Soul Resin, I think they're called, 16th scale SAS conversion kit for attacking Jeep. This guy, which is a great kit. He's very well detailed, reasonably priced, I think 40, 50 bucks. So here's what you got, and you get the figure too. I don't necessarily want to build this one, although it'd be awesome. So again, I'm gonna make this the 16th scale, as you can see, the SAS long range Jeep from North Africa, World War II. So got the conversion set on the way. I found the cheapest price actually was B&A models in Australia. Shipped to the US was about $10 cheaper with shipping than Soul Models or Andy's Hobby headquarters. So be mindful if you do get Soul Models. When you first open up the website and look, it's like $300, but the $300 ones are actually the whole Jeep in resin. So you have this kit, you don't need the whole Jeep, you just need the accents like the wheels and the guns and jerry cans, that kind of stuff. So that was about 80 bucks shipped to me from Australia. So that'll be here in a couple of weeks, which is perfect timing because it gets me to finish this guy off and then start with this one. And then I'm going to make this, like I say, I'm going to upgrade it with the aftermarket, make this a World War II one. Not going with a figure, I'm not a great figure painter, so I'm just going to do Stuart's Jeep itself, maybe on a little basic, simple, kind of desert, North Africa kind of base. So yeah, pretty excited about that. I'm really go detail on this one, especially on the engine, can really go to town. Well, saying that, I guess we'll figure out with the resin if you can open the bonnet or not, or the hood. If you can't open it, there's no point super detailing the engine, right? So I know it's definitely going to be full of jerry cans all over it and completely different look. So yeah, excited about that one. So that's my next one to start once I get this one rounded up. Other purchase wise, one thing arrived in, box a little bit beaten, but the kit's in good shape. This guy, which is Snowman's or Takum's Apache, the Israeli version. As you can see there, the DI, 64 DI. Cool looking aircraft, Apache is, but this one, you know, as always, Israeli, just really kind of go to town, and that just looks like a beast. So yeah, I noticed a few people commented already about these kits. I know the instructions are crap, and I know the decals may not be the best. Not too many decals on this one, and my thing is there's tons of videos. Tons of people built the regular one, so in terms of building this, there's tons of videos on YouTube or website or forums where I can get help if I want to build this one. I know the main one's probably going to be better, but the main don't do right now the Israeli version. So this one really caught my eye, the colors and everything. So yeah, so I picked this one up, and as always, picked it up from my my guy on eBay from China. I got it early and cheaper than you'd buy in the Western world. But yeah, that's the Apache. And put it down like there. What else? Oh, and finally, the airbrush thing. So I mentioned I did a video a couple of weeks ago. I got a couple of airbrushes sent to me, which I thought Gallery. I actually was told by how you pronounce gallery, so that's pronounced gallery, by the way. So got a cheaper one, a $50 one, and I got a $120 one sent to me. So I did a review, and the 51 wasn't that great. The 121 actually sprayed pretty nicely. I compared it to my usual, my Platinum Proton Boy, which is my go-to airbrush, which I've used for years and absolutely love. So this one can be picked up on spray gun of about 100. This is 120. It did spray pretty nicely, I thought originally. I've been spraying it actually from some clear coats and stuff on this, and the more I use it, the more I'm thinking I like the Proton Boy better. It just seems better made. And a few people made comments on the video, which is actually pretty valid, saying, you know, Chinese airbrushes, $120, you can get them a lot cheaper, and you know, I agree. Now these might be better parts and better made, but nevertheless, I'm sorry, Gallery, but after a couple of weeks of use, if I was going to spend $120 on an airbrush, I can't recommend enough the PS283. 283, I think it was 289. 289. The PS289 double action Proton Boy Platinum airbrush. Used this for 6 years plus. I've had 3, 4, 5, 6 of these things, just multiple ones, and you know, they're just really well made. They're made basically, they're Iwater airbrushes. Made Iwater and Proton Boy made the same factory, the same parts, same quality. For me, there's no necessary point getting a Iwater because you can get this for a lot cheaper. So yeah, at the end of the day, my update, unfortunately, bought for gallery, unknown brand, but these established, well made, and I can highly recommend the Pro Convoy 289. Again, spray gunner, have regular sales, you get 10% off, and you can routinely get these for about $100 for free shipping in the US. Pretty good international shipping too. Not that I have any affiliations or anything with them. Just a product I've used for years. I know, trust it and love it. And yeah, the only thing I'd say with the Pro Convoy is I used to use a lot of like Tamiya Airbrush Cleaner, proper airbrush cleaner, and they work fine. And then about a year ago, I'd saved money. I switched like Home Depot, like the big gallon things of like lacquer thinner, and I find that maybe it might be kind of not too great with the seals. It's too harsh maybe. So if you can go to the cheap kind of thing, lacquer thinner, just when you clean your airbrush, make sure you flush it out with some cleaner or some good stuff afterwards, just so it doesn't sit in those seals and kind of like mess them up a little bit. But yeah, so there we go. That's my update on the airbrushes. I've had some more people reach out to me for airbrushes. It's just all usual generic Chinese stuff, so I kind of said no. And it's really weird because the last couple of weeks, I've had a lot of people reach out to me wanting to send me stuff. Like, I never ever get, like, I've had this channel, what, 8 years, and very rarely I ever get people, like, reach out to me wanting me, like, review stuff or send me free stuff. In the past couple of weeks, I've had probably at least half a dozen responses. So most of it's generic random stuff, like microphones and things. I'm like, no, but, if it's free airbrushes, I mean, hey, why not? I'll take them, right, and use them and see how, if worst case scenario, use them for, like, spraying wash or, dioramas or something, or give them to the kids to play with or use. But I did get one interesting one a couple of weeks ago from D'Agostini Fan Home. We did a Partworks, and they reached out to me saying, hey, interesting collaboration, send me how many subscribers and stats and YouTube link, that kind of stuff. Did that, and then I responded back a couple of days later, hey, I'm excited to get going, any news? And like, well, we're waiting to hear back from some other people, we'll let you know. Let it go for like a week, and then I messaged them again saying, hey, just following up, excited, get going with any opportunities. And they came back and right away and said, hey, this is what you got to choose from. And if you want, we'll send it to you free of charge. And if you want to do build videos on your channel, again, you got the thing for free. And these Partworks are normally about $65 a month for about 2 years. So it's about, they work out about $1,500 to $1,800 for a Partworks, which is very expensive. So the options I was given was Eleanor Mustang, which I built my channel for Eagle Moss. I actually bought it myself, and it just wasn't that great. So I mean, I was paying for it. If it's free, I might have a different opinion of it, but paying for it, I think I got like 30 parts in, and you see my videos, like reasons why I canceled that subscription. Unfortunately, I sold those parts on eBay, so I didn't make much of a loss. And I must have sold something in the stars, because a few months later, Eagle Moss went bankrupt, so you can complete your subscription. Now you can complete it through Fan Home, because they pick up the license, but I got rid of that at the perfect time. So Eagle Moss, now Fan Home, yeah, Eleanor Mustang, I was good. Ghostbusters Ecto 1, which is massive. Star Trek, like Enterprise, I'm not a Star Trek fan at all. Optimus Prime model. I'm not a big Transformers guy. You see how the YOLO part, Optimus Prime already. What else? And I think maybe one more, I can't remember. And then the other one was the Millennium Falcon. They're re-releasing the Millennium Falcon, the giant, like massive, I know it's like size of a dustpan, massive Millennium Falcon. So, of course, being a Star Wars geek, I said, I'll take Millennium Falcon. And long and behold, they got me set up, and starting end of August, when it's released, I have the first part, and I'm getting them all sent free of charge. And so $1,800 Millennium Falcon I'm going to get for free, which is very awesome. And yeah, it's definitely the biggest thing I've ever got free for the channel. So I'll start doing videos every month as I get the parts, me building it, and it'll go on for 2 years, like the subscription. And hopefully, I don't think it'll be a problem, but I want to do it my own take on it. So I'm not just going to put together the metal Millennium Falcon, but it's pretty crudely painted. So I'm going to take my trusty airbrush and my modeling products and stuff behind me, and I'm going to really kind of weather it up and make it take to that next level. So you can follow my progress and see how it goes together. And if you want to subscribe and do it yourself, then shoot over to Fan Home and you can order it yourself. I think it's like $65 a month, like I said, and they just send you a few parts. Most of it's going to be metal and just kind of screws together, and again, makes a massive. A little bit of interior, I think, but yeah, I don't have the exact size right hand, but I know it's massive. Comes with a stand and everything as well. And yeah, it should be a lot of fun to get that thing weathered up and painted and stuff. So that is it for this month being August, and I'll be back next month with my next bench update. In the meantime, I've got one of my older build videos made in the year, the F16, which is over there, which was on Patreon. That's filtering through. That's my last ever build series. And as always, I continue on Patreon, my weekly, and Patreon and YouTube members get my weekly vlogs, which are kind of like this, but maybe 10 minutes every week, where I kind of talk a little bit more detail about the colors I'm using and what I'm building and that kind of stuff. So there we go. Hope you're having a great summer. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time.